Jake had always believed he was careful with his secrets, but that afternoon shattered his illusion. It started as an ordinary day. His wife, Laura, had left the house to run errands, asking him to stay home and relax. The sun poured through the living room windows, casting long shadows on the wooden floor, as Jake sipped on his coffee, scrolling mindlessly through his phone. His mind, however, was far from idle. Lingering guilt gnawed at him, but desire was stronger. Sophie, Laura's younger sister, had dropped by unannounced just a few minutes earlier. She looked different today, less the innocent girl Jake used to babysit, and more a woman radiating a confidence that made his heart stutter. Sophie's emerald eyes caught his immediately. She smiled coyly, brushing her hair behind her ear. "Jake, do you want to hang out while Laura's gone?" she asked, a dangerous edge to her voice. Jake hesitated, the warnings flashing through his mind. But he nodded, his rationality drowning under temptation. The conversation started casually, light banter about work, family, and plans. But as the minutes ticked by, the air between them thickened. Sophie edged closer on the couch, her hand brushing his accidentally on purpose. Jake swallowed hard, knowing he was treading a dangerous path. He told himself it would be just a moment, a misplaced mistake, nothing more. But when Sophie's lips met his, all reason fled. His hands slid around her waist as she pressed against him, fervent and expectant. The house, once a haven, felt like a cage filled with forbidden thrills. The racing of his pulse drowned out the echo of his conscience. They kissed deeply, hungrily, taste mingling, until the boundaries that had once seemed unthinkable blurred and vanished. Sophie's fingers traced down his chest, and Jake's resolve crumbled. The living room was suffused with the sound of quiet gasps, the scrape of bodies against the couch. And as Jake's hands explored the curves of the woman who had been like family, he realized this was more than lust. It was betrayal wrapped in proximity and raw emotion. But beneath the fervor, a sliver of doubt gnawed at him. What if Laura came back early? What if Sophie regretted this? What if they were both irreparably broken by this moment? Yet in that dim-lit room, none of that mattered. The seconds stretched into minutes, an endless blur of stolen touches and whispered names. Finally, Jake pulled back, his breath ragged. Sophie looked at him, her eyes shimmering with the same mix of desire and regret. "We shouldn't," she whispered. "I know," Jake replied, guilt crashing down like a wave. But we did. They both sat there, the weight of their actions settling on their shoulders. The door clicked, the sound of Laura's key in the lock. Panic shot through Jake's veins. Sophie hurried to leave, casting one last hesitant glance his way before slipping out into the fading afternoon light. Jake stood frozen, the room suddenly too quiet, too empty. The secret weighed heavily, a dark stain in the heart of the home. When Laura stepped inside, cheerful and unaware, Jake smiled wanly, hiding his turmoil behind practiced ease. But inside, he wondered how long he could keep this fragile facade before the truth tore their lives apart.